What is up, folks? It is Dan with Tier List Everything, and today we are going to be looking at horror movie tropes. Now, what is a horror movie trope? It's basically stuff that we commonly expect in horror movies that it's just like either it's yes or eh. And that's why we're going to be ranking it. Our ranks are must have, being the top tier, great, mid, really man, and go away. So we are going to get right into it with bad cell service. Okay, I'm going to put bad cell service in mid. Look, folks, I think that the problem is with most of the horror movies these days, it's just like, oh, they can just call the cops and then they're good. Or they can just like call their homie, or I don't know. You know what I mean? Bad cell service, and even I get bad cell service sometimes, and I live in like, then again, I live in a rural area, so it makes sense. But it's just like bad cell service, it just happens, and sometimes, you know, a movie just needs to go on. I mean, if you can call the cops right away and get out of a sticky situation, what would movies be? So we're just gonna put it in mid, because it's like really, man, at this point. Like, I feel like Verizon has enough bloody towers to where you got service everywhere. Okay. Next, we've got risky intercourse. So risky intercourse is basically whatever it's like, oh my gosh, there's a killer out. Yeah, but I want to get my rocks off in this back seat. I'm gonna put risky intercourse in great. Look, guys, it's just funny. I don't know why. It's so fascinating to me that some people are just like, man, do I really want to die without, emptying the old flesh balloon? Risky, I don't know. It's just always been so funny to me that no matter how bad things are going, no matter there's a murderer on the loose and you're literally in Murder Central, they gotta get it going in the back seat. It's funny to me. It misses must have just because it's really stupid. Okay, next we've got a guy holding a stupid sign, and this is going to be in Go Away. This is basically whenever characters in the movies make really stupid decisions for no reason. I mean, it's just like stuff as simple as like, oh my gosh, there's a weapon on the ground, and like, I'm not going to grab it. Like, just the dumbest things that people do in movies, I hate. I think a good spooky film is best done whenever people are making smart or at least human decisions. But some people in horror films are just so dumb, and that needs to just go away. It's cheap. I get that they have to keep the plot going by people being stupid, but that can go away. Next, we've got stupid cops. So this is basically just like when police officers are super incompetent. That's gonna go. It's gonna go really, man, for me. Because to be fair, in most horror movies, it's like Michael Myers or something, or like some invincible force, and it's like how stupid are cops really? Like, they're going against an unstoppable force in this film, and then you're like, oh really, guys? Y'all didn't know that you needed to rub garlic on a wooden stick and shove it in his eye or something? Whatever thing it is. So it's like, it's kind of like in Really, Man. Because, frankly, I don't know how cops are supposed to be trained to deal with horror murderers or something. Next, we've got The Power is Out. The Power Out is going to go into mid for me. Because it's just like, I like the fact that sometimes the power goes out. Because even where I live in a kind of rural area, the power always goes out. So for one, it's kind of believable. And for two, it builds that suspense of like, what do you not see lurking in the shadows? So I really don't mind power being out in movies. Although sometimes it's just like way too convenient, and it's just like, oh, we need to reset this fuse, so let's go on a side quest so we can go die. So, it's just mid for me. Call the Expert. Ooh, I'm gonna go mid again on Call the Expert. The only reason why is I hate when they call the expert and it's just an exposition dump. Like, it's literally just like, hey, I know exactly what's going on and I'm gonna solve it. Like, here's how to solve it. And it's just like, really? And what they just Googled, like, guy who deals with demons or something. I will say sometimes it can be fun. Actually, in this picture right here, it's Willem Dafoe from the new Nosferatu movie. Dude, Willem Dafoe is so good in that movie that he literally probably moved it up from Really Man to me. Sometimes it's fun when they call the expert, but other times it's just like a little too convenient. All right, next we've got Red Herring, and it's a little red fish saying, I'm here to distract you. So look, red herrings are really getting old. Like let's put it this way. I swear they always have that one guy who's just like, oh, he's for sure the murderer. Like, the troubled boyfriend who rides his motorbike everywhere and doesn't speak. or the crazy old guy. Ooh, he's the one who did it. And then it's just like, I feel like they try to make it so obvious that this person did it that you know it's not them, and it never really works. So I'm going to just put it in really, man, because sometimes the reason it's not in just go away is because sometimes they actually pull it off. And it really pays off when they pull it off. But I just feel like they so seldom do that anymore that yada yada yada. Next, we've got signature weapon. Ooh, so this is when a killer in like a movie, this is mostly in franchises where they have like their signature weapon that they use. On here, I got Freddy Krueger's claws. That is a must-have for me. I just think it's so fun because, like, a lot of time, you know what, actually, never mind, I'm just going to put it in great. Because then I remembered, like, dude, like, Michael Myers has a kitchen knife. Like, really, it's not that interesting because there really are bad signature weapons out there. But I really like it whenever the villain, antagonist in a horror movie has their signature weapon. It's fun. It's fun. Like, Freddy Krueger's claws. Oh, I don't even, I'm not going to say anymore just because the Thing's shape-shifting ability. I don't know. What do y'all want from me? I love signature weapons. They're fun. They're great. Dream fake out. Okay, dream fake out's going to go in really, man, because like sometimes it's done well. Like in the Nightmare on Elm Street films where it's like slightly ambiguous whether something was a dream fake out and they wake up. It's actually pretty effective, but again, only for that franchise. Or sometimes a dream fake out is used to kind of like be like a precursor of something to come. In those, it can be interesting, but really, man, they most of the time, they kind of blow it, and it's just sort of like, oh, he was just dreaming? Okay, whatever. Checking on a... I'm going to put checking on a noise again in really, man. Now, look, a checking on a noise is essentially when, oh my gosh, what was that noise? Hey, let's go check it out. To be fair, the only reason it misses go away is because I do this. I swear every single time my wife is like, hey, Dan, I think I heard a noise. I always go check it out. I swear I am the first person who would be murdered in a horror film. And that's the reason it misses go away is because I do it. And how much can I really hate on myself? But yeah, it's pretty dumb. But like by the time you hear like satanic whispering or whatever they hear in horror films, dude, just don't go look at it. Just call the cops, call your buddies, or bring your gun or something. Just checking on noises is so dumb. But it misses go away because I do check on noises. Sorry. Next, we've got creepy old person. Dude, I don't know why I love the creepy old person thing where it's just like they'll come out of the bushes and they'll be like, you gotta get away from here. Yeah, those are so much fun. I don't know why. It always just sets the mood for movies. Now, to be fair, is it done too much? Probably a little bit. But I don't know. It just kind of sets that ominous mood for the rest of the movie. And you know, it's just kind of like, it doesn't tell you too much, but it lets you know early on that there is something going on here. So creepy old person, it's fine. Hide under the bed. Dude, hide under the bed is go away. First of all, who of you out there actually has space under your bed to hide? I mean, if you're anything like me, you've got crap all up under your bed because you're storing stuff. I mean, it's like a bed. I'm not like so rich that I can afford to have like shelves everywhere. I've literally in my camera, I'm surrounded by shelves. Literally. I don't know what I'm saying. But they're not in my bedroom. That being said, hiding under the bed is stupid. I mean, and it's like then now you're stuck under a bed, so a killer can just like run around the bed and wait for you to get out and just poke you with a knife. Stupid. Very stupid. Next, we've got nobody believes them. All right, nobody believes them is going to go into... Look, it's going to go into really, man. It's going to go into really, man, which is the second worst. Look, it's so, like, sometimes in horror movies, they'll be like, yo, I heard, like, a scratching noise coming from outside our tool shed or something, or like, hey, there's blood written on the wall. And then it's just like, oh, you're crazy, you're imagining things. It's really stupid sometimes. Like, how much trouble is it for a character in a movie just to be like, oh, hey, that sounds like a serious issue, let's just go check it out. Like, am I right? Am I right? Like, I remember there was this one time I was sleeping, and then out of nowhere, my wife, I heard it through my sleep. She says, get the gun. And I immediately just go clear the house with our gun. It's just like, dude, it's not that much trouble to just go check something out. And then, you know what? You could save yourself and your family a whole lot of trouble. Yeah. So it's really annoying when it's just like, oh, nobody believes the protagonist. However, I mean, can you blame them sometimes? Like, I will say in some of the more outlandish horror films, it's kind of like, yeah, there's killer frogs. If y'all have ever seen frogs, oh my gosh, never mind. We're not going to talk about frogs right now, but guys, yeah, because sometimes you can sort of understand when something's so outlandish that they don't believe them. I get that. Next, we've got It Was All a Dream. That is Go Away. So that is just a step under dream fake out. Dream fake out is when like one scene in a movie is just a dream. If everything was a dream, the only movie that has ever done this well, in my opinion, is the movie Click with Adam Sandler. Other than that, I absolutely hate when it's just like, oh, it was just all a dream. Stupid. I hate it. It sucks. Stupid. Die. Go away. Okay. Next, we've got Boning Equals Death. I'm going to put Boning Equals Death in mid because it's like, this is pretty much, look, everybody in a horror movie, if you're gonna F somebody, if you're gonna sleep somebody, basically, not sleep somebody, sleep with somebody, you just die. That's just how horror movies work. You just die. That's it. Like, for some reason. Now, the reason it's mid for me, actually, you know what? Yeah, the reason it's mid for me is because it's just like, again, going back to risky intercourse, which is slightly different. Like, you know, if you're going to be stupid, sometimes you should just die if you bone someone. But also, sometimes it's just kind of funny. Like, at this point, it's just funny. I feel like so many horror films are just like, they're so cliche that they're funny. And to me, it's mid. It's stupid. But I also think it's just funny that people die when they bone in horror films. Next, we've got Based on a True Story. Based on a True Story. Dude, that's just going in... It's going in really, man. Because, like... Honestly, if a horror film says that it's based on a true story, they're probably capping. It's not based on a true story. 99% of the time. The only reason it misses Go Away is because it is... Sometimes they do it, like, I feel like a few horror films are based on a true story. I'm not exactly sure which ones. Yeah, but whatever. It'll be in Really Man just because. Just because. Alright, next we've got Terrible Parents. Terrible Parents is gonna be in Go Away. Dude, this is basically in a movie when, like, a little kid is like, hey, you know, dad or mom, like the kids basically have to defeat the bad guy because the parents are totally incompetent. They don't own a weapon, they don't know how to make smart decisions, and it's basically, or they just get knocked out and now they're not a part of the picture anymore. It's stupid. It's stupid. Just, I don't know how... This kind of goes back to the stupid people, stupid decisions one. Like, really? Really? No. I don't know why people act the way they do. They're just like, it's stupid. Terrible Parents goes and Go Away. Move Into a Creepy House. Dude, I'm putting Move Into a Creepy House into must-have. Look, me and my wife both agree that if there is a house that is like $100,000 and where we live in North Carolina, houses are $500,000 easy everywhere. Dude, if we find a house that's $200K because someone died in it, we're moving in there. I don't care. I don't care how many people died or got murdered in there. We are moving into that house if it is the right price. I just think it's hilarious whenever it's just like, I don't know. And then there's always ghosts attached to it or something, but it is a must-have for me just because of that inside joke with me and my wife where it's like, bro, I don't care if a whole family of cats, chipmunks, humans, and dogs got murdered in this house. We are moving in. So that is a must-have. That is top tier for me. I love in movies where they're just like, well, the place is cheap, so we're moving in. Scary Background Thing is another must-have for me. I really like... Now, I'm not a huge fan of jump scares. Spoiler. Oh, jump scares is actually on this list. I'm not a huge fan of jump scares, but I really, really, really love subtle spookiness. So whenever there's something in the background that you're supposed to notice throughout the film that just gives that ominous tone to it that just makes you think like, ooh, I love it. I really like ghost stories, and I feel like ghost stories are the best at implementing that. That being said, I just, you know... Whenever there's that spooky face in the background, or whenever there's that, like, oh my gosh, isn't that guy supposed to be dead and he's just lurking in the back? Or it's a slow build-up to a tense moment. Awesome. Love it. Great. Car Won't Start. Oh, look, this should be bottom tier. This should be Go Away. But for me, Car Won't Start is just really man. And the reason for that is because I feel like in films, they always have like these new 2020 Corollas or something. Bro, are you kidding me? That 2020 Corolla's randomly not going to start. Are you kidding me? It's a Toyota. I swear, these people in these movies have the best cars, and then it's just like, no, I don't know where our car just doesn't start. Now, I understand this. For me, the reason it's not in Go Away is because my cars always don't start, but I drive beaters. And sometimes, like, I got stuck at Lowe's the other day because the battery was, like, whack. And I'm just like, are you kidding me, man? Like, this is a horror story in of itself. So that's why it narrowly misses Go Away. Ooh, the caller is in the house. So this is where basically someone's on the phone and then it's just like, oh my gosh, they're in the house. I'm going to put it in mid because I feel like it's overplayed now, but also it's like really funny. And there's already that tension of the phone call where the phone call is usually creepy. They usually know too much about the person or they're saying creepy things. And then it's just like, I'm hanging up. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm already in the house. And then it's just such a swell of tension in your heart because you already felt that tension rising during the phone call. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, they're in the house. This creep is in the house. I like it. I think it's fun. You know what? I'm actually going to move that into great. I like it better than just mid. Next, we've got the dead antagonist's twitch. So this is basically in the end of the movie where it's just like, oh my gosh, we really killed the bad guy. And then the camera zooms in on their hand and it goes like it twitches. I'm going to put it in mid. The only person... What did I just move out? I feel like I just... Oh, no, Dream Fake Out is in really main. Dead Antagonist Twitch, it's fun. It's just mid for me. Because sometimes they're setting up a sequel and it's like, okay, whatever. Like, at least now we know we're getting a sequel. But then other times it's just like, oh, really? Like, we didn't even like this movie, and now we're getting a Twitch? It's like, who is it for? It's just mid for me. Because, frankly, if we just watched a great film, and the antagonist twitches in the end to show they're still alive, it's kind of great. But if not, it's mid. Whatever. Jump scares. Jump scares are going to go and go away. It's cheap horror. There's nothing tense about it. It's just trying to scare you with a loud noise. I hate it. Jump scares are going to stay and go away. Hate them. Stupid. Next, we're going to go in really man. Its noise gives away your position. That's in really man. Because look, sometimes it's so stupid. It's just like, why does your alarm on your watch have to beep? Why does your phone have to ring? Now, the reason it's not in go away is because, again, this happens to me all the time. You don't know how many times I go to the movie theater and someone that I go with, you know who you are, they'll have their phone volume on or something. And I'm like, you know what? If we were in a horror movie right now hiding in a bush, you'd have just killed us. So, you know what? It's just going to be in really, man. It's almost at the bottom because it's annoying. But at the same time, you know, it's just whatever. Bully gets wrecked. I'm going to put Bully gets wrecked in great. This is the moment in the film where basically this guy that's been either antagonizing the main character or something, where they just like get what they've got coming to them. And it's like, it's just fun because it's kind of like they're already so pumped up that they're like, oh yeah, I can defeat the bad guy. And you just know who the character is, who it's going to happen to. It's just fun to see it happen. And for some reason, for the picture, I use this guy wearing like a varsity football shirt, jacket, knit, bomber jacket. Dude, they're always wearing those. And they're always like, you don't look so tough. And then they get like stabbed through the forehead with a pitchfork or something. It's fun, but it's not a must-have for me. It's just fun. Next, we've got, Is Anybody Home? Dude, Is Anybody Home is going to go into go away. I was literally just at a customer's house recently, and I had to ring the doorbell even though they told me just come on in. Dude, do not just walk into somebody's house and ask, is anybody home? Bro, you're trespassing. Even if this wasn't a horror film, you can get shot or killed. Just stop. Why do they do this every single time? That's it. Is Anybody Home is just in go away. Oh, next we've got FU Money Job. So let me explain. What an FU money job is basically in horror films, for some reason, one of the characters in there always has like a super good paying job. They just have the kind of job where like, oh my gosh, How do they have so much money? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for some reason, everybody in horror films is like, oh, I'm an actor or I'm an artist. And like, for example, Orphan First Kill. The guy, he has a killer house, all of this money, and it's just like, yeah, I'm a painter. I don't know why. I love it. It's a must-have for me. I love it when people just have the most random jobs that just like gives them all of this money so they can just sit at home and be a part of the film. Because how scary, like how important would a character be to a horror film if they were just like, yeah, I just chill at home. I'm unemployed. No, that doesn't make any sense. Or how lame would it be if they're just like, oh, I'm gone from 9 to 5. So for 8 hours of the movie, I'm either sleeping for 8 hours or working for 8 hours. So it's just like, I love it when they have FU money in the house. Creepy basements. I'm gonna put creepy basements in mid. Because look, some basements still creep me out. I was renovating a downstairs one time. And there was a basement I was working on that just had like weird demonic symbols painted on the walls. Super weird. And I found a bunch of creepy stuff in there. And it was just a very strange job to do. I got the ick from it. And ever since then, basements have just kind of creeped me out a little bit. Now, I put them in mid because like some creepy basements, literally their only purpose is just to give you a jump scare. But other times it's like it can be an ominous enough set piece, or like it feels like there's some danger down there that it progresses the plot enough for me to where I think creepy basements are just mid. All right, rednecks are in on it. Oh, dog! This is when in horror movies, for some reason, they're always like, oh, the rednecks are the bad guys, and they're in on it. Dude, that is going to go away. I live in a part of North Carolina where we have like 50% upscale, just your typical white-collar folks, and then we got 50% rednecks, dude. I have never been wronged by a redneck. If I'm broken down on the road, those rednecks in their big truck, they always come help me out. I had a farmer who lived next to us who was a redneck. Rednecks have been so good to me and my family. I wouldn't say I'm particularly a redneck. I mean, I'm southern enough, but dude, I just do not get why every film thinks, oh, because this guy's a redneck, he's in on it. And like, oh yeah, like this podunk redneck town, everybody's in on it and they're after you. Dude, rednecks are awesome. They're lovely people. They're resourceful people. And they just love to help you out when you're in trouble. So that is go away because rednecks are great. Next, we have creepy child. Honestly, creepy child's going to go into great for me. And the reason it goes into great is because like children are frankly, children are kind of creepy. Now, I know I have 2 of my own children, don't get me wrong, but there's just something so creepy and unassuming about children where it's just like, you feel safe around them. You feel like this child can't do anything to you because children aren't evil, they're all innocent. And that's like kind of great for films sometimes because they can be the big bad and it's just extra creepy. Because you feel like with an adult, you can just like shoot an adult. You know, like if you find out an adult's a bad guy, boom, you cap him. But what do you do about a kid? It's just that extra threat, you know? Crazy. Next, we've got dropped keys. Look, dropped keys is going to go into really bad just because it's funny at this point. Look, dropped keys, it's so annoying, it's so stupid, it's so cliche, and it's just such a thing to keep a horror film going. I mean, how long would a horror movie be if it's like, oh my gosh, we got to our car right away, and we just dropped, and oh, I didn't drop my keys, and I just drove off, and now I'm not dead. Like, whatever. Someone's got to drop their keys every now and then. So it's just in really, man. Next, we've got double tap. Double tap is, you could look at this 2 ways. It would be in a must-have category if it weren't for the fact that nobody ever does it. It would be in go away for those people who don't do it. Honestly, dude, I'm going to put double tap in go away. Because I swear, every single time in these movies, when they have the big baddie beat and he's down on the ground and they've got the shotgun, then they're like, hey, let's stand around and talk, or yeah, let's get out of here. No, dude, unload on that guy. You unload all of those bullets. I mean, he is gonna kill you. He wants to kill you. And if you don't end him right here, he's just gonna find someone else to kill, even if you get away. So you just unload that shotgun right in that guy's face. Wow, that sounds violent. I sound like a violent person, but to be fair, I am a violent person. Ooh, next we've got FU Money House. You know what? I'm going to do a swap here. The FU Money house is in must have, and the FU Money job is just moving down to great. Look, the FU Money house, I love it. Because those people with that FU Money job, they have these huge, wonderful mansions, and I love seeing those in horror flicks. Sometimes a film is worth watching just for the house that it's set in. Awesome. Oh, going back to Orphan First Kill, which my wife and I watched recently. Dude, that house is great. It's just like a great set piece. And it's just that FU Money house where it's just like, dude, really, how can they afford this place? Like, this guy's an artist, or this guy's like a toilet designer or an architect, but you just love the houses that they're set in. Oh, even the first Orphan movie. Why am I going on about Orphan all today? Next, we've got creepy old tape. Okay, look, I got VHS nostalgia. Me and my cousins, we always used to watch stuff on the VHSs. I just love the vibe of old creepy footage on a tape. I don't know why. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the vibe. It's great. But the only reason it's in mid is because, like, why do people in modern horror still have, like, VHS players? To be fair, I still have a VHS player, but it's only because my brother gave it to me for Christmas. Excellent gift, by the way. VHS players are expensive. But look, it's just going to be mid for me because, like, while I enjoy the aesthetic of it, I also realize, well, then again, when it comes to a creepy old tape, the footage is old, so it would be on a tape. Generally because the footage is old. You know what? I'm going to move it up to great. I love old creepy tapes and films. Yeah, cool. That's moving up to great. Cool. Next, we've got the newspaper scrolly-majig. I love the newspaper scrolly-majig. I don't know why. It's going in must-have. I love it whenever it's like, oh, we're at a horror movie. For some reason, we need to look at old newspapers. And then they use the the thing that looks like the old monitors, and it's got newspapers on it. I love it. I don't know why. Those are just so fun. I love the way they sound. I love the way they look. I love how it's just an exposition dump. I know that it should be mid, and all of y'all probably think it's mid, but it's in must-have for me. I'll be back. Now, to be fair, Arnold Schwarzenegger will be back, and that's what this photograph is. But this is when the character just says, I'll be back, and then they just don't come back. This is just in go away. Dude, it's overplayed. It's overdone. It's at the point where Scream movies are just making a parody of it, and it is what it is. It's stupid. They just say it now, and then you're like, oh wow, now I know that guy's gonna die. And it's like, what was the point of that? Last, and certainly not least, we've got the mirror scare. Now, this is basically whenever someone's standing in a mirror and something spooks them really bad behind them. This is also going to be in go away. It's always a jump scare. And you know what else bothers me? It's always those medicine cabinet scares where it's like, oh, I got to take my meds. And then they shut their medicine cabinet window mirror. And then it's just like, spooky thing behind me. It's like, dude, where is your spatial awareness? Like, what are you doing? How did you not notice the spooky thing was in here till you looked at the mirror? And then it's always a jump scare. Hate it. It should just go away. Anywho's and people, that is my list. If you want something moved, if you don't like where I put something, F you. I'm kidding, no. If you don't like where I put something or you think something should be moved, let me know in the comments. I'm always interested to hear your opinions. Also, we are working on our things that start with F tier list, so if you have something that starts with F and you want to recommend it to be in the next video, let me know. Anywho's and folks, thanks for watching, and goodbye. Now, how do I turn this thing off? There we go.